guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing my first ever foundation first impressions wear test style video. I bought the Estee Lauder double wear foundation. I got it in duty free on the way back from my holiday recently. I had some euros left to splash, so I thought I would treat myself as I've heard really good things about it. One of my best friends and someone else recently recommended it, so I thought that I would give it a go. I have oily skin and someone that I was talking to about it said it was really good for oily skin. Ever since I found the MAC Pro Longwear, I haven't really kind of ventured out into any other foundations because that stayed on all day. I didn't oil through it, kind of like I would with the other drugstore makeup that I've used in the past. So I haven't really tried anything else because it was working, so I didn't really want to. But after I heard such good things about this one, I thought I would treat myself. So today I'm going to do a first impressions and a wear test. It says that it has 15-hour staying power. I don't think I'll be able to wear it for the whole 15 hours, but because today I am filming, I'm gigging, and it's a sunny day, I figured that it would be a good test to see kind of how oily I get when wearing it. And normally with a foundation, with a drugstore foundation, I mean, it would be like an hour after I'll start to see some shine. With my MAC Pro Longwear, I mean, I don't really know to the hour, but I do generally get a good solid maybe 6 hours. I don't know, I'd say. I gig with it and I might have to just touch up a little bit on a night out. I might have to touch up with powder on my T-zone, but really it does stay in place all day, so it'll be very interesting to see how this one does. I'm the kind of person that with my oily skin, I don't believe it until I see it. I got this one matched to my skin tone. I'm in 2N1 Desert Beige. There was one, because I was on my way back from holiday, I'm a little bit more tanned than I would be in the winter, and as we're coming into the winter, she matched me with a shade that would probably match me best when my tan wears off, if that makes sense, rather than one that matches me now and then in the winter it won't match me, it'll just make me look a little bit orange. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my normal primer, everything else like face makeup other than the foundation, normal to what I'd usually do. I'm going to apply it with a beauty blender on the right side of my face and then with a brush on my left side. First of all though, I'm just going to pop on a primer, which I would usually wear, and this might have something to do with how my foundation lasts, which is the Nivea Men Post-Shaving Balm, and a lot of people raved about this and I jumped on the bandwagon after my best friend recommended it. And I have to say, like, I don't know if it is the foundations that I've used or if it is the balm, but I do notice that my foundation and everything does last a long time. I'm pretty impressed. I'm not gonna lie, I have swatched it on the back of my hand, but I haven't actually worn it on my face. So first impressions, it is running a little bit actually. A lot of people have said it doesn't come with a pump, and apparently one of the MAC pumps do fit on it, but I haven't got that foundation. So I'm just gonna have to pop a little bit onto the back of my hand and then dot it on my face as I usually do. I'll do the sponge side first. And let's hope it's a match. Does it match? I think it is a little bit light, but when it comes into the winter months, it will match me fine. So that's the reason that we did it. Oh wow, definitely see how I've got a bronzed forehead, but I will bronze it up so that it matches everything else. It matches my tanned shoulder. Okay, first impressions are nice full coverage. Looks pretty good. Seems to have covered my blemishes that I've got, and yeah, looks pretty good. Okay, so they said it was like a semi-matte finish. Does feel a bit tacky, but I will still set it with powder anyway, because it's a little bit hopeful for someone with oily skin to not set their foundation. Happy with that? Happy with that. Right, next side is the brush side. The only thing is, without you having a pump, normally like with other foundations, I can judge how much I'm using by you taking the pump. So I would know that with certain foundations, I'd only need one pump for like day wear, or if I'm going out, I might need 2 pumps, or you know, that kind of thing. So I'm worried that you could use too much by not having a pump on it. So it might be worth looking and investing in like a pump online or something. I'm sure you can get them on Amazon cheap. Naturally, a brush will go on much quicker, as you can see. So if I'm in a rush, I will use a brush but I prefer the finish of a beauty blender just because I feel like it looks more flawless, even and natural, whereas a brush sometimes you can see the strokes on it, and if you haven't cleaned your brush for a while, I find that it does look like you can see the brush strokes, but it looks okay. Gone on much quicker with a brush, naturally, like I said. It feels like it has set really quickly, so I feel like it's a foundation that you'd have to work quickly with. You couldn't really leave, you know, like I just left that on my forehead before I buffed it in, but if I left it for any longer, I think it would have been more difficult to work into the skin. But I have to say, like, it feels comfortable, and I think that if kind of you're going out or anything like that, you can build it up. Oily skin, coverage, full coverage, so I would agree with that. I think that you can build it up. What I like about this is it does look natural. I do think it's a good match actually. With my MAC Pro Longwear, if you put too much on, it definitely looks like it. It can get cakey. I haven't piled it on crazily, but I would say this is more than I would wear daily, but probably about what I would wear for gigging, filming, maybe going out as well. I don't really like to pack foundation on too much because of how oily my skin is. I don't really like to, but feels nice. I don't think there's a huge difference between the beauty blender side and the brush side. Maybe it's gone a little bit cakey around my nose there with the brush side. I do find that a beauty blender, I feel like you get a better finish with a blender just because you don't get too much product and it doesn't make it cakey, so that's why I really love using any kind of sponge really. I think it's nice. Very nice. Do you know what I do like actually? I like the fact that it's covering up blemishes more than other foundations do, like with a first coat and that kind of thing. So I like that, but it doesn't look cakey, which I really like. I like a full coverage foundation, but I don't like it to be cakey, so it's always a little bit of a difficult one. But so far, so good, my friend. So what I'm gonna do is finish off the rest of my face makeup and then I will come back. Okay, so I've just finished off the rest of my face makeup and everything went on really nicely. I do still think that it looks nice, doesn't look too cakey. I am pretty impressed. I mean, it feels like a high-end product. I know it is, it sounds silly, but it definitely feels like it. Oh, I forgot to set my face. Oh well, we'll get this on camera because this is always a laugh, isn't it? Right, so now I have set it with a setting spray. I've done everything the same that I would do normally with my makeup, so we shall see how it wears. The time is now 1:45 and I have got a gig, and then I'm also going to do a little bit of filming later, so I will leave it as long as I can to see the results. With me having a gig today, filming, and it being sunny, I think that if this foundation will survive kind of through those conditions and everything, then that'll be pretty good, as it does say it will withstand humidity and everything like that. This is how it is now, looking nice and flawless, nice and matte, and let's see how my oily skin wears with it. I will see you guys in a bit. It is now coming up to 6:25, so I think that makes it about 6 hours that I've had the foundation on, which is kind of like a standard amount of time that I would have it on if I was gigging, if I was going out. Well, unless it's like a big night out. Here you can see there's a tiny bit of shine on my forehead, on these areas. My oiliest area, and it's so random, but it's just my eyebrow, just above my eyebrows. Don't ask why, but that is like my oiliest area, is literally just there. And I can see that it is, well, I think you can see it's a little bit shiny. In terms of how it has stayed, it's creased the tiniest bit just in here, in my smile lines. That's where I find that with the MAC one, it does crease in there quite, I don't know, quite heavily, I would say. It does. Yeah, so I've got a little bit of a crack in there. I mean, it's a little bit shiny here, but it still feels comfortable. It doesn't feel particularly sticky. It hasn't really gone hugely cakey. My forehead, I have to say, like, it is a bit shiny, but this is nothing that I wouldn't expect. You know, I wouldn't expect it to not be like this, if I'm honest with you. Like, I think it's pretty good. And normally what I do is, if I feel like I'm getting oily, I just kind of like pat. I know it sounds really silly, but I just kind of pat it with like a finger or something. I don't know if that helps or if that's good or bad or whatever, but I do that, and I feel like that just takes away the shine a little bit. So that's kind of what I do. I just pat my oily areas with my hand, and then I just kind of feel like I get a little bit of extra wear from the day. So this is where we're at after 6 hours. Let me just zoom you in a little bit so you can see. I don't know what's going on here. But I mean, I think it's looking all right. It's still got the coverage over my fantastic blemishes here, and I think it's held up pretty well. So it gets a thumbs up from me. I think I might have to mix it with a little bit of a darker foundation for the minute. I did come in after the video and try and bronze myself up a little bit more because this is quite extreme, but my shoulders are weirdly tanned anyway. I don't know why they are so tan compared to the rest of my body. It's really nice to have multiple foundations that I can wear that I know are gonna last all day, and I can kind of wear with confidence knowing that it's going to be nice and airbrushed. It looked fantastic in pictures and it looks lovely. So I look forward to using this more in the future. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy these first impressions and kind of wear test videos, then let me know, give me a thumbs up, because I have oily skin. If you guys have got oily skin and you have any kind of holy grail foundations, then let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know kind of what tips and tricks and foundations and makeup work for you. The main YouTubers that I follow have drier skin, so going on their recommendation for foundation, I know that it would work better on dry skin. If this video is helpful in any way, then give it a thumbs up and please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!